Please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to be notified whenever I upload a video. Please also hit the thumbs up or down button to let me know which direction to go for future videos. Thanks. If you've listened to any of Kevin Samuels' interviews, he uses sound effects. And one of the sound effects is of a black woman that he had on his show where he got emotional like he often does, so much so that he made a sound effect of her voice saying, "I'm a PhD." This is the conversation where she was on the panel. And no, he couldn't engage in an adult conversation. And yes, he did have a meltdown.
No, I'm not married. I would not choose. I would not choose to date into something like that. I got choose to be single.
Okay.
I'm a PhD.
Okay, congratulations.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Go ahead. What am I missing here?
A lot, actually.
Okay.
I was just, I'm just listening to the conversation. I think it's quite interesting. I'll say this, for one, if you have to say that you're a prize, then you probably aren't.
Why?
Just to start.
Why?
People who are prizes, you don't have to necessarily go around flaunting that.
Hold on, ma'am. I have to, which is a dialogue. All he said was he was the prize.
I wasn't finished.
Hold on. Well, this is a dialogue, so this is how this is going to go. All he said is he was the prize. And that because of where he is. He didn't flaunt it. Did you read what he wrote?
I did. Respectfully, I wasn't finished.
Well, respectfully, ma'am, this is my show, and this is how it's going to go.
But if you wanted a dialogue,
here's one thing that's not going to happen. Here's one thing that's not going to happen. This is my show. You're going to respect my show as it is, or you are not going to talk to me.
Is that is juxtaposed. His success is juxtaposed against Black women. Yes, can you hear me?
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, did you hear what I said?
No, I muted you because you were talking over me, and that's rude when you come onto someone's platform. I'm running 5 people. Did you understand what I said? Did you understand what I said, ma'am?
Yeah, I think maybe there's a lag.
Okay, do you understand that? Okay, there's a lag. So what I need you to do is if I start talking, please, I'm saying something for a reason. Don't just talk over me.
Right, but you cut me off. So
that's okay. I can do that. I run the show. If that's a problem, then you don't need to be here.
But you asked me a question.
And I'm going to continue to ask you questions.
Okay. So what's your question?
I said that he only said he was the prize once. He didn't pound his chest or didn't drone on about it. So you mischaracterized what he said.
No, I didn't. That was not my issue that I took with the post. May I continue?
Yes.
Okay. So the issue is that he juxtaposed his success against Black women. What's wrong with simply just being successful?
He juxtaposed it against the women who are going to be, he's going to be out here dating. What did he say about Black women that was incorrect? Factually wrong.
I think that he made several generalized statements about what Black women think or believe,
ma'am,
and what we want.
Ma'am,
yes?
No. What he did is he quoted facts, statistics, and data that can be pulled readily from a website called blackdemographics.com. And these facts are not in question.
Let's start with blackdemographics.com and Kevin's facts. Blackdemographics.com is a privately owned website, not a governmental run site. So whoever owns it can state whatever data it wishes and can skew the facts in whatever direction it wants. This woman, Tiffany, answers his questions, but because he doesn't like her answer, he starts to get upset and does what he always does, talks over her and won't let her speak. He's trying so hard to get her to agree with him that he won't let her get her original disagreement out. And of course, he resorts to his same tactics of using his mute button. And you'll notice throughout this conversation, he keeps going back to the woman named Daisha, because she said she was nervous to talk to him, and she seems very quiet and meek in her tone. And this is the only type of woman Kevin Samuels seems to be able to relate to. In order for Kevin Samuels to feel like a man, the woman has to lower herself. And if she doesn't, he loses control.
He did, but the
So
issue
what is wrong
that
about saying those? So what is wrong about saying those things?
He's created a narrative that his success somehow has to be juxtaposed against Black women.
You didn't answer my question. You didn't answer my question.
I did answer your question.
So by saying that Black women typically don't want to date down, is that true or false?
What's his definition of dating down? Having a JD does not mean
dating down. If you're going to
down.
ask me a question, I'm going to answer. Dating down is Black women tend to want a man who has at least what she has educationally and in income wise. Dating down would be somebody is hold on. Dating down would mean dating down would mean you're a college educated woman and you're dating a non-college educated man. That could be considered dating down. Dating down could mean you're making one income and the man you're dating is making less than you. Those are two examples.
Yes, but right now he has potential. He doesn't have a job.
You asked about dating down. We're not going to move the ball. He just said Black women.
I'm saying that your definition of dating down.
Sugar P, what's going on? See,
Hello.
Let me say something, Daisha. Let me tell you one thing. If you want to get what you want to get out of life, what you just saw happen cannot help you. You cannot be combative with men just because you disagree. And when someone's trying to talk to you, you cannot just talk over them and disrespect them. You said you're a little bit nervous because you're talking to me and my 50,000 subscribers and my 500 people watching. But I have a woman here who's talking to me like I ain't shit, to the point to where we can't even have a conversation with somebody who comes to my show to where, no, you're going to check the shit. So we can try this again, Tiffany. If you like to speak and be on the panel with everybody else, please try to do like everybody else on the panel. No one else has a problem with this but you.
What is it that you believe that I have a problem with?
It seems that you have a problem with the way that I run the panel.
No, I don't have a problem with how you run the panel. You asked me a question, I was trying to answer it. And I think that you're going off in a direction that is not actually, part of what I was actually thinking. And so then we start having a conversation about something that I wasn't trying to have a conversation on because it wasn't my belief.
That's not what you want to have a conversation on. The respect, ma'am, is not the point. The point is, he said what he said. I just JD'd. I've entered a new arena for Black men. In this arena, I'm now the prize. Don't take my word for it. We're all on the same page. I know you don't like the way it's being said, but we got to be on the same page. Are you saying that Black women do want to date down or don't want to date down?
I would say that a lot of Black women would choose to date a man that respects
them. You want to date up,
a man that makes more.
Can you answer the question? Okay, we're going to do this one more time. If you don't want to answer the questions as they go, I'm going to put you off the panel.
I mean, I've answered your question.
No, you haven't.
Sir. I haven't answered it the way that you want me to,
and that's
but I have answered the question.
And that's a problem. And ultimately, that's a problem, man.
I'm answering your questions.
Well,
okay.
I consider it
a counselor. Want to put me off the panel?
Counselor, I consider it to be unresponsive. See, Daisha, this is called I'm questioning her, like I'm cross-examining her. And I would say, Judge, permission to treat the witness as hostile. And I would say, you're being unresponsive. See, I'm good at what I do. And the fact of the matter is your positions are full of crap.
This is supposed to be a conversation, a discussion, or even a debate. But muting her and cross-examining her like they're in a courtroom, then not allowing her to speak, is just bullying the conversation. Kevin doesn't know how to relate to a woman who challenges him, and he gets very emotional when this Black woman stands strong in her position. He's going to say she's being combative, but all she's doing is disagreeing with him.
Why is it hard for you to understand that a man that is
It's not just me. It's other people on the panel.
Or people that you haven't muted then?
Because you're the only ones being combative.
I'm not being combative.
Okay,
I'm
you're
speaking
right.
my mind.
You're
If I
right.
don't agree
You're
with you,
right. You're right.
right?
You're answering. You're being perfectly respectable. You're answering the questions directly. You are doing it. All right, sis, I'm wrong. It's me.
What if you were, though?
Yeah, that's exactly it. It is me.
Okay.
With this massive criteria, that black women don't want in dating a black man, they have essentially drastically limited the dating pool of viable black men. Is that true or false?
Are you addressing me?
Yes.
What's your definition of viability?
Ladies, do you see the problem here?
Yes.
Do you see the problem here? Now we're going to debate the definition of is. And this is how we're supposed to actually interact with black women and try to actually build relationships and build communities.
Community requires communication.
No. Communication, and that means what? That we do what you want to do? Because you came onto my show and you don't even want to try to operate according to what I'm doing. And I'm using this as an object lesson. Now I asked you what is viable. I said that you drastically limit the pool of viable men. Viable according to education, criminal record, sexual orientation, everything that the brother outlined. And you're going to actually say what makes viable.
Okay, so you're based off of that definition of viability, yes, but that is not my definition.
Ma'am, we're not debating your definition of viability. We're debating the man's post, not what you think of. We're just making sure we're on the same page. Okay.
Right. But the issue that you think I have with the post is not the issue.
Okay. You see why 70% of these women go unmarried. Okay. What did your husband say about this?
What?
What did your husband say about this? Did y'all discuss it?
No, I'm not married. I would not choose. I would not choose to date into something like that. I choose to be single.
Okay.
I'm a PhD.
Simply, you're not married. What did your boyfriend and or the man in your life say about this?
Say about what specifically?
This conversation, because you're having it with me, so I'm assuming you had it with him.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely does not think that it was an appropriate way of communicating.
Is he around?
And there's a lot of men that he's in here.
Okay. Would he mind getting on with you?
He's in here. I don't know if Emmanuel, are you on here?
Because people have asked for guys to get on.
Yeah, he's aware. He's aware.
Yeah, because nothing this man said, nothing in this prize said, I'm the prize and now black women are going to have, he didn't insult black women in anything. So let me ask a question.
Well,
let me ask you a question. How and when should black men be able to discuss some of the issues that black women have with finding a viable mate?
Right after you have the conversation about viability and what that means, and if that should actually mean what it is.
Talk to me like I'm four. Don't use so many words.
Okay. So for me, viability would not necessarily mean a specific degree. It does not mean certain dollar figures on your check. It would have a lot more to do with character. It would have to do with how they communicate, especially when they're angry. It would have a lot to do with their integrity. So if you have all of these things going for yourself, but you don't have some of these other things, you to me are not necessarily viable.
So when should black men? Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
So when should black men be able to have that conversation?
You say as black men?
No, when should black men be able to have that conversation?
You can have whatever conversation you want. But if you believe that your viability is based off of your credentials, you're likely to attract a person that's going to judge you based off of those credentials. But I would hope you'd want something more for yourself.
So black men judge black men based off of the things you said. Character, integrity.
Men judge.
Excuse me. In mass. So when black women are asked on relationship panels and magazines and videos and anything that any of us can see, what they're looking for in a mate, where does character tend to rank with black women?
And who do you believe are the producers of
Ma'am,
these
I asked
media
you a
outlets? Are
direct
Black
question.
women the ones who are
Ma'am,
producing them?
unresponsive. I asked you a
Well, if
direct
you're,
question.
but you're,
And, okay, I'm going to mute you. I asked you a direct question, and it is unresponsive and rude to answer a question with a question. Where does character
okay.
rank in these
Well,
discussions with Black women?
well, those aren't discussions with Black women.
I made it very clear. I'll ask again. In various videos, various podcasts, various panels, various shows, various magazines, any of these things, anytime relationships are brought up where women are discussing, even when, where does character rank among women having a discussion about what to pick, one of the, how does that rank when Black women talk about Black men? Where does it rank? Is it in the top 5?
Let's be clear. Kevin Samuels introduced this high-value mentality, and when he asks women questions, it always leads to the man's income. But if he asks a woman if a man's character is important to her, she would say yes. If he asked women if the way a man communicates is important to her, she would say yes. And if he asked if a man's integrity is important, a woman would say yes. Kevin is the one who has reduced relationships down to a woman's physical attributes and a man's wallet. In this discussion, though, you can see why Kevin doesn't appreciate an educated woman, because he's becoming unraveled, he's stuttering and can't get his words together, and his meltdown is coming. Just wait.
You guys, this is what I'm talking about. This is why so many times Black men do not want to talk to Black women.
I always find it interesting that Kevin's anecdotal situations and how he feels about one Black woman somehow includes all Black men, and that he can speak for all men on every subject and everything. If he doesn't like talking to Black women, shouldn't he say just that? It's strange that one Black man can speak for all in every situation.
You see, whenever I ask you a direct question, you always want to tie in. You got a problem with this man bringing Black women into a discussion. But when I ask you a question about Black women, you want to bring in Black men. You're a hypocrite.
Okay, well,
no, there's no okay, ma'am. Own that shit. You're a fucking hypocrite. And now you have done it multiple times.
And if you're talking about respect and then disrespecting me with
no,
no,
we're beyond the path of disrespect. I've allowed you more latitude, more rope than anything else, and you continue to be disrespectful in your responses. When I ask you a direct question and
I'm not being disrespectful for
when I ask you a direct question and you decide to do the very thing you have an issue with, it insults my intelligence and is disrespectful. So I'll bid you a good day.
I would be insulting your intelligence by not having the conversation that you're worthy of. If you want answers,
good. Enjoy it with your man. Black women. Women like this, in your proximity, if you want to have anything that resembles healthy relationships with Black men that you are not sleeping with, need to go.
However you feel about Kevin Samuels, you have to admit that his attitude is horrible. If this is what high value means to Black men, then I'm here to say women don't want it. What did this woman say that Kevin felt it was necessary to cuss her out and kick her off his panel? This woman got under his skin so deep that he made the sound effect of her saying, "I'm a PhD." Now, every time I hear it, it will remind me of this woman who got Kevin so emotional and bent out of shape that it made him sweat in that hot, too small suit that he always wears.